Customizer, Wake Angel 2001, bringing you the third part of Davin's current commission. It is Tikal, the Echidna from Sonic Adventure. But before we get into talking about how I made the toy, let's do a bit of backstory about Tikal as a character. Tikal is named after an actual Mayan city, which was the seat of their civilization for quite some time. If this architecture looks familiar, it's because they basically recreated this place in Sonic Adventure. Notice the similar pyramid in the background? Tikal was the daughter of Pachacamac, the chieftain of the Knuckles tribe of Echidnas. She befriended the Chow and their guardian deity Chaos at the shrine of the Master Emerald, which is the original resting place of both the Master Emerald and the Chaos Emeralds. But the Knuckles clan had grown powerful through warfare and conquest, and Pachacamac would eventually try to seize the Chaos Emeralds to give him an edge in battle against his greatest opponents, which we will learn years later is the Nocturnus clan Echidnas, creators of the Jizoids. Attempting to steal the Chaos Emeralds and harming the Chow in the process angered the guardian deity Chaos and turned him into that giant water dragon, which was the final boss of Sonic Adventure. Tikal would sacrifice herself by sealing both her soul and Chaos within the Master Emerald, where they would remain until, Sonic Adventure. Okay, let's talk about making the toy, because that's probably what you're here to see. Here's Tikal's 3D model from the game, and in the late 1990s, this looked great, but it's lacking a little bit of detail. So when Davin presented me with a reference picture to work from, he gave me this. It's what she looks like in the Sonic X anime. For the most part, this is actually a lot more detailed. Like, you can see her crown pushing up her dreads, and she has, fingers. But look at her feet. They didn't bother to draw in toes. And I noticed that this is a problem with the Sonic X anime. In the rare instances where we see the characters without shoes on, they never bothered to draw toes. I'm not sure if it's because the artists were confused by the aesthetic, or if they just couldn't be bothered to draw them because they weren't good at drawing feet. But that's besides the point. This is basically what she's going to look like, but per Davin's instruction, the figure will have toes. Tikal would be built from an Amy Rose figure. Can't deny the similarities in overall frame. And I would start from the head and work my way down, as I usually do. I had to cut off Amy Rose's bangs, ears, and her spines, and then build up her head to have the more oblong shape of an echidna head. If you've ever noticed that underneath Knuckles' dreadlocks, his head is a lot longer. It's like egg-shaped compared to Sonic's skull morphology, which is much more round. Now, I did something pretty technical here, which is going to require some illustrations, which I did in 30 seconds on MS Paint. Basically, after removing the spines thusly, I took the longer middle spine and attached it to the front spines, the ones that normally frame her face. This makes them longer and thinner, which allowed them to function as echidna dreads, which follow a similar pattern to Amy Rose's spines, but, are just generally longer. Of course, after this, I sculpted over the head so extensively that almost nothing remains. As you can see, her eyes are separated, she has that crown. Besides the two repurposed spines, all of her points are fully sculpted, and I even made her a new muzzle that comes out more, because echidnas overall have longer muzzles. Then, of course, came the great painting. Tikal is an orange echidna, of course. She still has the original eyelashes, although I did have to go over them a little bit because orange paint covered them, but And, she has light blue eyes, the gems, it's all good. Let's move on to the other parts of the figure now. Guys, I am really sorry if the audio for this video sounds a bit weird. No matter what I try, my computer just seems to reject recording audio properly, and my voice keeps seeming to cut out for some reason. Especially every time I stop to take a breath, it's like the computer turns its ears off. Well, anyway, the body, it's a pretty simple mod. Cut the dress off, sculpt on Tikal's necklace, and I attached a spare tails from a Knuckles figure, because it's an echidna tail. Now the dress. I couldn't sculpt Tikal's dress because it's past knee length, and if she was to actually wear it and it was solid, it would pretty much fuse her legs. But I was able to make it out of material. This is a scrap of t-shirt fabric, which I simply glued around onto her waist, and then during the painting, I was able to put the pattern on. Since the paint soaks effectively into the t-shirt, as long as you don't go sticking it in a washing machine, it wouldn't rub off, which makes a really nice looking Tikal dress. The arms are much less modified. She just has those bicep bracers. You know, what do you call those bracelets that go all the way up on your bicep? I've seen characters wear them in TV shows and stuff, but I don't know if they have a specific name. And of course she's painted. I didn't need to do any modifications to the glove cuffs or anything because besides the fact that they're crystal blue color, Tikal's glove cuffs are pretty much the same as Amy's. The shoes, well, the legs are from Tails, and besides sculpting on the wraps and stuff for her sandals, I also sculpted over the tips to give them 5 pointed toes. Well, not necessarily pointed toes, she just has 5 toes. That's more than the artist from Sonic X ever gave her. Reassembled, Tikal is actually looking really good. I think I've outdone myself on this one. Tikal is another one of those characters that I have been getting requests to make for years, and she is on the short list of characters that people would have liked to see the Jazzwares toy line make. Perhaps if Jazzwares was into making the figures 10 years ago, Tikal would have been fresh enough in the people's memories that she would have received the toy. Unfortunately, Tikal, besides being in the anime, Tikal was only in 2 games, and in Sonic Adventure 2, she only cameoed in the multiplayer mode, not in the actual game mode. But, oh well, at least one person will get a Tikal figure. And this is Toy Customizer, Wake Angel 2001, signing off.